Hello everyone, greetings to all watching the video. I welcome you all to another episode of Convo with Apricus. Friends, our topic of discussion today is feminism. And to throw light on this topic, we have Dr. Mahua Ghosal with us. Dr. Mahua is Associate Professor in the Department of Political Science, Haldia Law College in Haldia, West Bengal, India. She has many achievements to her credit. She has done her PhD from IIT Kharagpur. She has been gold medalist in the Master of Arts Political Science. She has also published various articles and research papers in journals of reputation and magazines. She has more than 10 years of experience in teaching and research. She's also the member of editorial board in Journal of People, Politics and Administration. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to Convo with Apricus. Let's start the discussion now. Ma'am, I want to know, what is feminism? How did the idea originate?
Good afternoon, Madam Chairperson. I'm very happy, very excited to share this platform with you. And thank you for inviting me in Convo with Apricus and to share my ideas on feminism. I'm honored to be here with you to share my thoughts on feminism, which is known to everyone in some way or other. Now, coming to your question, what is feminism and how it originated? Now, feminism, which became a part of everyday language since the 1960s. But feminism is how it started. And to define feminism is a futile exercise. Why? Because it comes in various shapes and sizes. And to understand feminism, one has to go through its passage of history to understand its etymological roots. Now, the French word feminist mean that was being used to describe the biological features. Now, the English word feminism, which came to be used from 1860 and in the 28th century, when some group have used this term feminism to describe the uniqueness of women, feminism came to be, or I will say feminism have acquired, became a political term, a political stance. So in feminism, there are three letters, ISM. And feminism is, this ISM is like other ideologies, liberalism, Marxism. But feminism, why it started? What is the basic idea behind feminism as an ideology? That I'm going to discuss now. Now, feminism as an ideology is based on the belief that women are disadvantaged. Why? Because of their sex. And this disadvantage can and should be overthrown. Now, though feminism became familiar from the 1960s, at the middle of the 19th century, became very popular with the 20th century, but feminist ideas was in fact, prevalent in the ancient culture and civilizations of Greece, China. In fact, Christian de Pizan's, a famous book, City of the Ladies, that was published in 1405 in Italy, that advocated the rights of the woman, that women should also receive education like the men. They should also have the political influence. But feminism did not become prominent as a discourse because it was long being ignored by the political philosophers. Like the classical thinker Aristotle, who denied citizenship rights to the woman because she lacked deliberative capacity. Or the modern thinker, modern philosopher Rousseau, who advocated different education for men and women. Or Nietzsche, or John Rawls. Now they have focused, they have highlighted the various aspects of society, the very fundamental concepts in political science, but did not give or ignored women's role, contribution in the society. Now that was criticized by the feminists because women could not be turned back so long, and women came together for themselves to fight for equal rights in the society. So feminism started as a movement. It was an attempt to advance social role of women. Now coming to your another part of the question regarding the evolution of feminism. Now to understand the origin, the growth of feminism, one has to go through its phases, which is being described as waves. Now, the first wave of feminism started with the demand for equal legal and political rights. And during this period, a famous book on women's issues that was written against the backdrop of French Revolution, that was the vindication of the rights of women, that was written by a feminist, pioneer feminist, that is, and she is none other than Mary Wollstonecraft. So Mary Wollstonecraft also believed that women should have equal rights along with the men. And with her publication, that has a tremendous influence on the discourse on women's rights. Now, other than Mary Wollstonecraft, there were also other advocates of women's rights, such as in the 17th century, Mary Astor, a British feminist, who argued that if rationality is a trait of the human being, so woman is also a human being, so she should also possess rationality. And her argument was that if men is born free, why women are born as slaves? And for that, one has to understand the socialization process, which starts itself within the family. How men and women are treated differentially. how they are discriminated. And for that, what is needed, what is required is education and training for the women. Apart from Mary Wollstonecraft, there was other women advocates such as Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Harriet Taylor, who was the wife of one of the greatest political philosopher, John Stuart Mill, and her publication was The Enfranchisement of Women. So with this publications, that focus entirely on women's contribution, how women are neglected, that starts from the family itself. And also how women's contribution are long being ignored. So that resulted what the women to come together to fight for themselves. As a result, what happened? The suffragette movement was started, and that initiated in the Western world and of course in the advanced democracies, UK, USA, New Zealand. And this, as I have said, that the first wave of feminism that demanded for equal legal and political rights, such as right to property, right to marriage, right to custody of the children, right to education, and so on and so forth. Now, this first wave of feminism came to an end with the political rights being granted to the women. As in UK in 1919, New Zealand in 1893, 1920 in USA. After that, from the 1960s onwards, started the second wave of feminism. Now, here there is a little shift regarding the focus of their movement. It became radical, revolutionary, because at that time, the thought was that only gaining legal and political rights, that would not help, or that didn't change very much in the life of the woman. And Betty Friedan, Feminine Mystique, one of our most important publication. She was also the pioneer of women's liberation, where she has argued that women, why are they frustrated? Because they are confined within the household, and only they have that role to play, that is as a mother, as a wife. But beside this, the woman also have other role, she can also contribute in other way also. So that was her argument. And at that time also various other publications came into being by the leading feminists. Kate Millett, Sexual Politics, Jarman Gear, Female Inarch. That also shook at that time the society. And at a time also brought within the fold other women. So at that time, it became the movement the movement have become very radical, revolutionary, that they have highlighted personal, psychological, sexual operation, exploitation of the woman. So not only that, political emancipation will help the women there. With that, other areas also needed to be changed, and that right start beginning from the family itself. So after that, what happened? In 1990s, started the third wave of feminism. It became postmodernist in nature and outlook. And an important book by American writer Naomi Wolf, Fire with Fire, the New Female Power and How It Will Change the 21st Century, was published. And in this book, or her argument was that women should stop becoming victim women. Rather than one should focus on power feminism. And by the 20th century, feminism became multicultural, defying universalization, generalizations, challenging the foundational assumptions regarding feminism. And at the turn of the 21st century, feminism became a part of everyday life. Feminism became very popular. In fact, I'm talking in this month where we have, few days back, we have celebrated International Women's Day. So feminism is not to overpower men, but to give equal rights to women, so that they can live with dignity, so that they can live a dignified life. So this is about feminism, how feminism started.
Thank you so much,
But
ma'am.
the different phases of feminism.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for explaining the basic origin of feminism and the basic meaning of feminism in such a lucid manner. Ma'am, I want to know, can men be feminist?
See, when we say this word feminism, or you are feminist, some may have a fear in mind. But feminism is not that. Feminism is not to overpower men. Feminism, the basic idea behind feminism, is to have equal economic, social, and political rights, to eliminate all forms of inequality which the women face in their daily life. So yes, madam, at the turn of the 19th century, there were also men who have advocated, who have demanded, alongside women, equal rights, equal opportunities for women. Now, various advocates from men, I can mention about Pillsbury, then also French thinkers Montesquieu, utilitarian Bentham, who also demanded, advocated for women's right. In fact, in India, before independence, Raja Ram Mohan Roy also fought for women's rights. He crusaded against sati and other social issues. And also, I have mentioned about one of the famous English political philosopher, John Stuart Mill. His famous work, The Subjection of Woman. He was also one of the advocates of women's right. Because the society will progress if both men and women have the equal opportunity. And that was the thought behind those who have supported and supporting women's rights.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, there are some negative views about feminism also. The concept is said to be biased towards women. Do you really think that?
Absolutely not, ma'am. It is not biased towards women. No, why it started? If we go to the history, it started because women are being humiliated, discriminated. They are ignored. Their contribution was ignored. In all walks of life, they were humiliated, discriminated. So it was not only to support or a bias towards women. As I have said, not to overpower men, but to give equal rights, equal status, which women as a human being should also have. So, see, anything happens in the society, there is a logic for that. Long the women were denied all the opportunities, all the social, economic, and political rights. They were treated like slaves. So, during the second wave of feminism, the the focus was that what was the root cause of women's operation, exploitation? It is being ingrained in the culture? What is the extent of marginalization? So this is my opinion, and I'm sure everyone will agree with me.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, how has feminism affected the society? How has the concept brought about change in the lives of many women which were underprivileged and challenged to make a mark for themselves?
Now, feminism has brought much change, but still we know that women are still being exploited, humiliated. Still, there is the ratio between the literacy rate of men and women. We will see still women are low. Despite so many changes, despite how the movement started, how it had initiated with the suffragette movement, and when after the two world wars, when women came out of their home and joined the workplace, there also they were treated unfairly. Their wages were not equal, and they have to face the inferior working condition. But still, women at that time have tried to make adjustment. But I'll say from that role, what happened, they have become confrontation. And they challenged, and they wanted their rights alongside the men. Now, see, in the 21st century, in fact, everywhere in the world, and also including India, various rights been given to the women. In fact, in India, the constitution have given equal rights. Said about equal rights as it is being reflected in the fundamental rights, fundamental duties, directive principles of state policy, and also the various 5-year plan also emphasized on the empowerment of women, and also the various program. In fact, also Manrega, you have heard also, that is also a scheme that is also being initiated to empower the women. But yes, still lot needed to change. Still, we know that how the women are being discriminated in all walks of life. But yes, all we hope, and as a woman, I also hope that it will change, and uh, our voices will be heard.
Ma'am, you have made it very clear the concept of feminism, but I have more questions coming to my mind. Ma'am, the idea of feminism calls for gender equality, equal status, and equal opportunity. But why is that needed for a progressive society?
See, I will start, or I will like to answer by giving an instance. Now, men and women are like the two wheels of a cart. The cart will not move if there is one wheel and another is not there. So, men and women both should have the equal rights, equal opportunities. Otherwise, how the society will progress? Because women are half of the human population, and no society can progress without the active participation of women in the public sphere and also in the private too. Though they are being long denied their rights, they fought for that. As I have said, that how they have fought. Initially, they have to struggle, they have to fight back, they have to fight much from the with the family, within the family, also uh, with the society, within the society also, with various issues, the various barriers they have to remove. But still, they came together, they fought, and that was necessary. And how they have achieved the right to vote, right to education. Otherwise, they would have been treated like the slaves. See how they were been denied even the citizenship rights. And they will be only be confined within the household itself. Their role, their contribution, which was ignored, and which would have been ignored if the women did not fought back. And still they are fighting for their rights, for equal opportunities. But at least they now have a voice. Their voice are being heard. Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what in your opinion can be done to improve the status of such women who are underprivileged and they have mm, they have no opportunities to progress and prosper in spite of many government initiatives and the initiatives by the society? What can be done?
Yes, a very good question. That see, despite we have right to education, despite the midday meal scheme, despite the various initiatives, the programs of the government, still the women are illiterate. Women do not have a say in the household. Women do not or cannot participate in the decision-making process. Now, first, in my opinion, I think the first thing that needed to change is the perception, attitude of towards the woman. And that should be initiated within the family, because socialization process starts from the family itself. And also, what needed to be done is that though government have initiated various schemes like access to credit, microcredit, self-help group to empower women, but still it had not reached to the rural areas or unable to convince the I will say the women folk as along with the men folk. And also what is needed that monitoring also by the government, that whether the programs, the schemes that is being initiated by the government have properly benefited, reach out to them or not. And also, though one thing I will also mention here, that reservation of seats has been provided to the women. There is a National Women's Commission and a lot of things, but still the condition of the woman, and especially in the rural areas, have not really changed, because still the most important thing is the poverty. And they had to work with their for their families, and they are denied of education and also the opportunities. So, and for this, the government should also take other initiatives that how to bring them. Now, here I want to talk about the national education policy also, where the emphasis of is on inclusive development to bring the socio-economically disadvantaged sections, so that no one is denied with education, because education is one of the component of development. And that, I think, will help that. So women, what needed? Women needed education. They need employment. They should have access to credit so that they can take part in the decision-making process in the society. And there should be increased participation of women in the public sphere. So this is my opinion, and I think that you will also agree with me.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such an apt answer. And I'm so thankful to you that you took out time, participated in the discussion, and explained the concept in such a lucid manner. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity and share my thoughts along with you. Thank you.